good evening. It's Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. And tonight I want to talk about how we live from the subconscious filters and it controls our everyday life. And what I'm really starting to understand is our viewpoints, our opinions, and our beliefs are our subconscious controls, or our subconscious filters on how we do that. And what I'm really understanding with me is I never realized it until this week, even though I'm as old as I am, but the circle of influence I had from high school, my childhood, all through life, and the expectations of other people subconsciously still have a control over me. And I really never understood it till now, but that controls me. And you know, I think I got by this and I get by this, but what I'm understanding, all the things that we think we've gotten through, we just expand out of this and into a deeper of it. And the challenges we have as you go deeper into yourself, and challenges take you deeper into yourself, and they bring out the deeper rooted stuff in you, but it opens you up to express the value of yourself to the world. But the subconscious filters are our beliefs, opinions, viewpoints, and the way we think about life, and it controls us in the way we think, and our thoughts and our memories. Our memories are a big subconscious filter, and that's how we live our everyday life. And anything above that, everything above what we think and know, creates an angst or an unsettling block within us, because to go above that, you have to release everything you think you know and believe, because a belief is a thief, because it locks you into yesterday. And the subconscious filters are our comfort zone, or our cozy zone, where we feel comfortable. And our dreams and our desires and the accomplished outcomes is above that. And a dream is an adventure taking us into the unknown and everything we never experienced. And see, that's where we become locked and blocked. If you looked at the world today, we're still using the same thinking, same everything to expand in this technologically advanced world. And we're trying to use computers rather than use our heart and soul and our enterprising expressions that are within ourselves. The inspirational expressions of enterprising wisdom that are within the people will expand this world into the peace and prosperity. But we've never been taught to enterprise. We've always been taught to try to fit into the societal structures of life, so we never get beyond what other people want us to know, think, and do. And that's where we're at today, because now the world has come to a time where the leadership of the world and all the leadership, you watch the deal in Helsinki, the leaders have no clue. All they know is what they're going to do to keep themselves comfortable. But the people, it's going to be a grassroots revolutionary innovations that will take us forward, because it's the people. It's always been the people, but we've never had the trust in our own abilities and our own selves to communicate the wisdom from within us to the others. Because subconsciously, when you start listening and start asking questions about what you don't understand, it ain't what you don't know, it's what you're unable to understand. You open up a new question. And I did something. This question is going to be a little bit unsettling, but I did this to myself this week. I was listening to something, and shame is just something we separated ourselves from. But it really comes down to this question. And this is going to be kind of different, but I asked myself, how do I hate me, myself, and I? And what that question did is made me go in and understand whatever I think I dislike or hate in the world, I dislike and hate in here. It has nothing to do with the physical world. It's in here. And when you start letting the words come and getting a pencil and paper and go set someplace, not in your house, but go set in a neutral place and start writing everything that comes to your mind. Don't qualify it. Don't good, bad, ugly, or different. Put it on that paper and get it out there. And then when you leave, walk by a trash bucket or a trash can and throw it in that trash can. Never take your negative stuff back with you because it was written there. Leave it there. And it ain't negative. It's something we're afraid to see in a positive light. Because negativity is delusional. But we've been taught negativity. And I taught myself negativity. And something I do is I talk a lot in first person because I've realized one thing. Self-help is writing in yesterday, trying to heal the past. Personal growth is looking forward. But personal expansionism is now. It's in the now. Naturally open the wisdom within ourselves. And expansionism allows me to see inside myself, to investigate my selfish or myself, and seeing the world through my maverick eyes and be a little bit rebellious to my habitual life. And that's what we live, as an habitual life. And that's what a subconscious filter is. Keeps us inside our habits. Habits are a comfort zone, and I got lots of them. And that's one thing I never have to look at anybody else's life because I got enough stuff inside me to clear out that I could probably take 3-4 lifetimes. But here's the thing. I made a deal with myself in 2000. I'm going to find everything that's hidden, discover everything that's holding me back, and release it and let it exit my life. I learned something about exit. I never release anything. I allow things to exit my life. And see, how do you feel when I say this, all the negative stuff with it, my delusional negativity exits my life. And all the things accomplished outcomes I desire to experience enter my life. How does that make you feel when you hear that or say that? And then when you say things in personal growth or personal expansion, it's always me, myself, and I. Because you is a subconscious filter projecting my fears into the world. Because when you say, well, you do this, you do that, this is what the world sees. Well, when you're writing you or you're telling the world what's wrong, that's your subconscious filters telling the world your fears. So when it comes to personal expansion, it's first person. It's I see me free. And that is where it is. And when you open up and admit and get right down into the core of yourself, you start letting things exit your life and allow stuff, your desires to enter. But the subconscious filters are sneaky little guys, because you'll be going along, everything will be going smooth, and then something in your day happens and you go right into what you did yesterday. I'm guilty of this a lot, but I'm willing to admit it. The difference between being stuck where you're at and moving forward, being willing to admit that is me and nobody else. So as I open up to myself, I open up to the world, and I allow people to use my way. I expanded my life. I'm not here to say I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not here to please anybody, but this is the way I've expanded my life. And when I wrote that question, how do I hate myself, me, myself, and I, and wrote that out. And then when I got done, I asked this question: how do I love me, myself, and I? And I love myself because. The buzz of because makes it go right to the crutch. And the reason I use the word hate over dislike, hate cuts through the crap. You can massage it, you can do everything, but when you cut through the crap, you unwrap the gifts of me to be free and see the world with enterprising eyes, to open my eyes to the world. And it's about seeing the world through enterprising eyes. And when you want to open the world, look at it through enterprising eyes, you turn on your light of love. And that's letting out venomous energies, opening up to the lionized, omnific, vibrant essence of myself. And that is where we are. You know, love is a certain thing. But you got to open up to appreciate everything that's ever occurred in your life, to open up to the love of your life. And as I move forward through this, and I understand my subconscious filters control me without even having a clue. And what I really ask myself today is how do my subliminal filters control my life without me having a clue? And how do my subliminal filters keep me glued into yesterday and the way I think and react to my daily life? Even though I've noticed I've went through a lot of personal expansion, I still fall back into the crutches and the clutches of the crass of me. And that is where, when I do that, I may offend somebody, but I always look at me, because nobody can do anything to me except me. And I got a saying, the only one that can ruin my day is me. So I took the right away from me to be free, to feel the robust, enterprising energy within me, to see the majestic epiphanies of my daily life. So as we open up and I understand this, I can bless the world with inspirational expressions. And anybody that writes with the word not is really writing in fear. Not is a fear word, any of them. And that's why they say when they can't and they won't. Can't means they want to control it, and won't means they're afraid to do it. So when I open up to the inspirational expressions and my enterprising energy, I feel a synergy of sassy tenacity to walk through my day with my eyes open, ears peeled to the new wisdom that flows through me from unknown worlds. When you understand that them beliefs, and everybody says you gotta have faith, you gotta have belief and all that, but when you let go of faith and belief and you trust your abilities to hear and trust your abilities to expand through the situation, how does that make you feel when you say to yourself, I trust my abilities to expand through the situation because I hear the wisdom from unknown, unseen, and unexplainable sources? Because the spiritual world is inaudible, inspirational, and invincible, because you can trust that, but it's the uncertainty that it isn't in our thinking mind and in our subconscious mind is where it is. And the subconscious filter will never let you go beyond where you're at today. And it took me a long time to understand this. And what I'm really learning about life is nothing ever ends. It just goes deeper. And the challenges in my life are there for me to open up my inspirational expressions, to expand, energize, enterprise, and appreciate this experience. We try to overlook the challenges into the end outcome, but it's the journey, that's the voyage inward and the journey on the physical plane that make us open up and enjoy the accomplished outcome. And I taught myself how to be a whiner. I just have to admit I did, but I've really gotten it beyond that, because whining is an insecurity and immaturity, and that's a subconscious filter, because we want it to be easy. I thought because who I was, what I was, my name, everything should just be easy. Everything is easy when I let go and detach and went through. I stopped itching the bitch, being in the ditch of dumb shit, and then I opened up my eyes to the world, because the world is full of complainers today and very few walkers. But if you watch and listen to everybody, Steve Jobs said something in I would listen to his 10 successful things. And one thing he says in there that really caught my eyes. He says when they first started Apple, they went for the people with the pedigrees, the degrees, and that could really do the interview. And it took them about 3 years to find out they were professional interviewers. And the people that were a little less, weren't good at interviewing were usually the people they wanted to put in management. And he says, never put somebody in management that wants it. He says, always find that person that fights and tries to hide from management, because they're not going to go in there to please and do anything. They're going in there to get the job done. And that's just like life. You can do all the dancing and all the prancing, but you got to walk through the thickets of ick and thatch the thorns of scorn to free yourself and ride on your cloud nine of the divine, because it's a daring, internal, visionary, intrepid nerve that will expand you through life, because it's a nerve to understand the external world is nothing more than a roadblock showing you your inner blocks, and that's all it is. And well, there's a lot to it, but it's being willing to understand it. I saw something on the internet, and that's what did that, and they said validate everything, end self-sabotage. All that does is end it for that one temporary expansion, because the next one's deeper with more embedded emotional and hurt feelings, and it's going to come deeper and deeper. So there's never really an end. There's just a new beginning to a new beginning every time. So we never have an ending. We just have a new beginning to the new beginnings to the beginnings. And then we become the winner of our life, because we have the willpower and the guts to go inside ourselves and stop blaming the outside world. Because blame is being lousy at managing everything, and shame is nothing but hating myself on the inside. So it's, how do I hate myself? To understand I love myself unconditionally, unselfishly, and courageously. That will expand you through life. So as I understand the subconscious filters control my life, I can start understanding how I got to get through the gatekeeper to release the subliminal filters to feel my internal tenacity, loving every day, realizing to expand a majestic maturity. See, the world is growing up, but we've never matured beyond our ancient anchors. Ancient anger, ancestral arrogance, whatever you want to say. But if you look at the world, we still play the same games, and we end up with the same outcomes, but we think we're really moving forward. And everything we've ever done is to please, has been for the bankers of the world, if you really want to know the truth. But it's being honest. And, reality can be anything you desire, but the honor of your own abilities will always see a voyage, a vibrant energy with an awesome accomplished outcome, because you opened yourself to your own abilities. It's the wisdom, abilities, the talent, the imagination, innovation of people, of you. Well, of the people on this show, the talent and the wisdom will expand the world. And the one thing I'm going to say, everybody, when I first got in this, I wanted to help everybody. Well, you get scalped and helped. What I've expanded into is there's only going to be 2 to 5% of the people that'll even care. 85 to 95, 5% are going to ridicule you, because that's just what they do. 90%, they're just going to stay on their path. But it's 2 to 5% that are going to listen to you and expand you. And I thought, wow, that ain't very much. But when you take 2% of 3.25 billion people, because that's the grown-ups, and they all send you $1, or they all buy your stuff, or they all listen, and you can listen to them, how does the world expand? And if they all send you $1, it's about it's actually 3.5 billion. But if you get 1% of that, see, it isn't the money. Money is the energy. It's the wisdom and the willpower of the people and the innovation that's going to expand the world out of its current way of life. And it is opening up to the people like on this show. But I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the inner voids. There's days I can walk through a 6-foot titanium wall. There's days a feather knocks me right over. But it's the days the feather knocks me over opens up the courage and the candor to meander into the thickets of ick, to open up the incredible canonized kinetic energy within me, to be the soldier of fortune, the warrior with wit, to walk through the world. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm Robert A. Wilson with My Cowboy Wisdom. And my website's mycowboywisdom.com. My books are available at amazon.com. /author/Robert A. Wilson, and at howdiditeachmyselffear.com. And thank you, and may everybody enjoy a good weekend, and we'll be here next week and do this again on Tuesday and Thursday. And thank everybody, and good night.